Recording on. Good evening, everyone, and welcome once more to our second online meeting for the Eagle Toastmasters Club. The Eagle Toastmasters Club is Nigeria's premier Toastmasters club, online and offline, and we are very happy to welcome us all, both members and guests, to this online meeting. So for this month, our team has been on Let's Get Personal. We had our offline meeting last week, and it was awesome. And yeah, we are very certain that this week's is going to be even more interesting. So without further ado, I will be introducing our club president, who will take us through the inspirational message and gear us up for the presentation we have ahead. Thank you very much for coming in once again. Thank you for sharing out of your busy time to join this meeting. We assure you it's going to be a wonderful session. Madam President.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Chukudum. Good evening, everyone.
Good
Good
evening.
evening.
It's so nice to be here again. It's another online meeting, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity. It is my pleasure, my absolute pleasure, to welcome you to Eagle Toastmasters Club today. This club is 12 years old, and it means that 12 years ago, it was chartered by Ambassador Okovi and 25 other founding members. We're privileged as a club to be the first online and offline Toastmasters club amongst over 40 clubs in Nigeria and over 120 clubs across West Africa. We meet 3 times every month, twice physically and once virtually. So for the month of February, this is our virtual meeting, and we'll be meeting physically again next weekend at Eco Hotel. Our meetings, like the one you're about to experience, are always exciting, enlightening, and empowering. So, welcome to the best use of your 1 hour this Saturday evening. I'd like to go straight into the theme that we're exploring this month. It's Let's Get Personal. The theme says, Let's get personal. You cannot take away from someone's experience. You can't take someone away from their experience. A person is almost defined by everything that he has experienced. Everything you experience in life is a huge part of what you are or who you are. And so let's not take away from the importance of the individualness or the individuality. Sorry, I think that's a better use of grammar. And so to throw more light on this theme is an inspirational thought I thought was powerful. It says almost everyone will make a good first impression, but only a few people will make a lasting impression. So what impression do you make or leave with people whenever you meet them? That's actually our focus for today. Our speaker for today will be throwing some light on the importance of the personal touch in leadership and communication. So leadership and communication are what Toastmasters is about, and that's true. However, they are not some faraway things. They have to do with the individual and your experiences. So today, what we'll be learning is the importance of that personal touch. Where are you rather in all of this leadership and communication that we're talking about? So almost everyone will make a good first impression, but only a few people will make a lasting impression. This quote is by Sonia Parker. She's an author of family and relationship books. So our speaker is Toastmaster John Onuminya. He is a competent communicator and competent leader awards recipient from Toastmasters International. He's a past president of Seaside Toastmasters Club, who also meets at a hotel every first and second Saturday of the month. He is also their current vice president membership. I find this very interesting. A past president being a coming back to run to lead the club in capacity of VP membership, I think is worth emulating. He is a creator of an online budgeting course, a fitness coach, and is working on his first book. He is a proud he believes that the way to transform the future is to impact the next generation. Gentlemen and ladies, without wasting any more time, let's make welcome, even though we can't clap our hands, I think, Toastmaster John Onuminya. Hello, John.
Hello, Neku. Hello, Eagle Toastmasters. It's a
Hi.
pleasure.
Hi.
I love the theme for this month. It's really incredible. And today we're discussing on personal touch in leadership and communication. It's a topic I feel excited about because it's something we actually need to focus on. We are very familiar with leadership. Toastmasters, we focus on leadership and communication. They are very, very important. I think many of us missed out on the essence of great leadership and great communication. Maybe because you've not those examples around us. So we miss self. I've seen people that try to behave like other people, and that just takes away from your leader abilities and your own unique communication skills. Today, I'll be talking about in leadership. And the first benefit is that it helps you actually speak the same language with whoever you're leading or whoever you're actually communicating with. Just this week at my job, we had the opportunity of doing an internship with a secondary school student. First, I thought it was interesting that secondary school students are doing internships, but we had that opportunity. Now, this person is from Madagascar. He moved with his family 4 years ago. He's in a French school. So there are many things unique about him. Literally, he just started speaking English 4 years ago. He was moving around from department to department, and we got to have him on Thursday, which was fantastic. And he moved around to another department Friday, and he was done. I noticed that as he moved around from department to department, they kept giving him handouts to read. My assumption is, as with most of us, people are busy. When you now have to take care of a secondary school student and help them out, it can be challenging. So they felt, look at this, read it. When he came to my unit, I asked him a question. I asked him, did you understand any of the handouts you've been reading? And he said, no. And I found that very amusing. We've been giving him handouts to read, but he doesn't understand them. One, they're very technical. Two, he's not very familiar with a lot of complex words in English. So I spent a lot of time talking to him about what he wants to do, his background, what he loves. And I figured out that being technical with him would not help. He did not comprehend what they had been saying because no one took the time to actually get personal with him, to know who he is, to know his background. The assumption was, let me just give him this to do. He'll do it. I can focus on my work. But when I started giving him work to do after spending time with him, I found out he's extremely intelligent. We're using him to do some reports. It was fantastic. He had a blast because we took the time to have that personal touch. And he told me a story, which is something I want to share with everyone here. Apparently, his mom has not learned English the way his dad and himself have, because he goes to school and his dad works in an English-speaking organization. They love going to, if you haven't watched Jumanji, comedy, great movie, they went to Jumanji, and he said that each time he laughed at their jokes, the mom turned to him and asked, why are you laughing? And he said she could not understand because she didn't speak English. If you're not willing to go on a personal level with people, you're going to miss out on your impact with them. Communication is a two-way thing. I need to know what you would understand when I say fall, right, left, dance, stop, move. People understand things differently based on their own background. People are impacted differently based on where they are coming from. At Toastmasters, we have a leadership program, and mentoring is key for us. It's very, very important. One of the basic things a mentor is to do is to get to know their mentees, and the mentee is to know the mentor. Why? Because you need to know what they are trying to achieve, where they are coming from, and how you can relate better with them. When you take the time to know that and they take the time to know you, you will begin to speak the same language and you will achieve so much more. Having a personal touch in leadership and communication is very, very important so that you can both speak the same language. Something I've learned with time, as many of us know, is dream big. My second point is that when you have that personal touch, it actually enables you to achieve big dreams. Why do I say this? If you ever dream big, and I mean really, really big, you would know that you need other people to achieve those big dreams. If it's something small, you don't need people as such. You might be able to do it yourself. But if it's a huge, massive dream, you need other people. Other people help you achieve those big dreams. And it's only by getting personal with them, because you have to figure out what is your skill set? How can they be used? What do you understand? Where are you coming from? How do I motivate you? Having a personal touch in leadership and communication helps you achieve dreams. My third point is that behavior is actually taught, or rather it's actually caught better than taught. And I'll explain this. I love to work out. As I said, when you introduced me, you said I'm a fitness coach. I love keeping fit. It helps me, it makes your brain sharper, it keeps you healthy. And I do it daily. But my son, who is just a year and 7 months, he gets to see me on Saturdays. I've observed that even though he's so young, because he has seen me do certain things, he has started doing that as well. And the same doesn't apply for just kids. It's why we say be careful about the friends you have. We pick up behavior. When we spend time together with people, we have a higher chance of impacting them. We are all unique. There's no one that is quite like you. Now, ever before, or ever will be. People want to learn from you. And if you don't take the time to be with these people so they can learn certain traits, they won't learn as fast as they need to. There's something about human nature. When we see someone else doing what we believe we want to do, or something we thought we could not do, we believe we can achieve it more just by seeing someone else do it. Your personal touch has a higher impact on others because behavior is more caught than taught. And it's very important that we understand that. My fourth point, and we emphasize this all the time at Toastmasters, personal touch helps you connect. When we're communicating, what are some things we learn? Eye contact, speaking properly, using pause fillers, telling stories, because they help you connect. When you have your personal touch, one, people realize that you also make mistakes. People get to learn your stories, and we connect with stories. We love stories. We've been learning by stories for so long. It helps you connect with people. When you meet someone for the first time, you generally would try and figure out, what do they have that I also do, or I have? And then you grab onto that. Oh, you're from this state. Oh, I'm from that state as well. Welcome. Or I play this sport. Oh, so do I. And you build from that. Having that personal touch helps you connect with other people. It's very, very important. Tell me your story. I'll tell you my story. I love sports, and most of the teams, sports teams, the ones that achieve a lot, they spend a lot of time together. They go out to eat together. They visit their homes together. Some go out for the same camp. They have a lot of time together to connect and know one another one-on-one. That connection is deep. In fact, some of the teams that have a high turnover rate don't do so well because they now have to start all over trying to help the new recruits connect with the others. Your personal touch in leadership and communication helps you connect on a much deeper level than if you didn't have that. It's very, very important that you have that personal touch with people so they can connect with you. And my last but not the least is that personal touch, it builds trust. Some have said that trust is the foundation of communication, is the foundation of leadership. If I come to you and I tell you, why don't you try studying 2 hours a day or 5 hours a day? Why don't you try talking to 10 people a day? You would probably try and figure out, where am I coming from? Why do I have the right to say that? If we have a relationship and you know I care about you, you know I love you, you trust me. And if you know that what I'm saying is for your benefit, there's a higher chance of you doing that. At Toastmasters, for instance, when we have people who are working with and we say we need to rehearse your speech, or we tell them you cannot give your next speech because you need to practice this and get it right. How many people do you think will listen to you when they are trying to achieve their first 10 speeches in 1 year and they are just on number 5 in the 11th month? People need that personal touch with you. They need that relationship you've built. They need to know you and then trust you. As you connect more with people, as they see you're a person of integrity, that you're a person that knows what you're talking about, they begin to trust you more. They begin to open up more to you, which is very, very important. When people don't open up to you, you have no idea who you're really dealing with. If you ask me, what do I want to do in my life? And I tell you, okay, I want to be a better father. What does that mean to me? It means I want to be home at 6. I want to be up at this time, spend time with my kids. Meanwhile, that's not the case. I'm just telling you what I believe you need to know. If we spend time together and I begin to trust you more because of you being vulnerable, me seeing that there's integrity there, that you care about me, I will trust you a lot more, so much so that I open up. When people open up, you can tell them, okay, that worked for her, but it's not going to work for you because of this. This is what you've been doing. You can know if you need to be a bit firmer with the person or if you need to be gentle because of their background. Trust is what enables us to do this. And personal touch is what builds that trust. My team in the office, I absolutely love them. Honestly, best team in the world, even though this is the first company I'm officially working for. I love them deeply. Why? We spent a lot of time connecting. A lot of time. I trust my boss. I trust my teammates. They ask me for something the weekend. I get up and I try to do it. We go to the movies together. My boss buys us food, and if you buy me food, I'm your best friend. I'll keep coming back over and over again. We go and have lunches together. We go dancing together. We do a lot. So we've come to know each other. We've come to trust each other. They're hardworking people. You can't even be in my team if you're not hardworking. You will have to leave at some point. But that trust is key. The leadership ability my boss has, the leadership ability my teammates have, are only stronger because of the personal touch they have, because of the way we've learned to communicate. Something I would like to tell you, which I know not many people do, In my office, I actually take naps almost every day. Like 99% of the time, I take a nap. We have 1 hour for lunch. I use about 30 minutes to have lunch and then 30 minutes to take a nap. Now, imagine you sleeping in your office and your boss comes. I don't know who your boss is, but what response would your boss have once they come and they see you sleeping? I can imagine what is going through some people saying, that's crazy. Do you want to lose your job? What's going on? My boss literally sits next to me. My teammate sits next to me. Every afternoon they see me close my eyes and go to sleep for about 30 minutes. But because we know each other, because there's that touch there, we've worked together, they know I'm hardworking. We've discussed the fact that I actually take naps. We really do have that personal touch. They trust me. No, that's his nap time. Let him have his nap time. Personal touch is essential. People truly do not care what you know until they know how much you care. And it's not someone else they care about, it's you. They are relating with you. They need to know you individually. I assure you that if you take the time to put your personal touch in your leadership and your communication, I believe it's John Maxwell that said, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others. And putting touch things together, the hanging out, you will go very, very far with the people you're working with. You'll be able to communicate on a much deeper level, understand one another. You'll be able to lead better than you ever have because you'll be caring about the people and people will care about you and trust you. They'll be connected to you. They'll begin to achieve on a deeper level. They'll begin to achieve big dreams together and you begin to speak the same language. The best time to have started this was probably 20, 30 years ago, depending on your age. But the next best time to start it is now. I know if we do it at Toastmasters, if you do it at home, if you do it at your workplace, you will achieve such great results. Thank you so much for the opportunity to do this. I now hand it back over to who is in charge, and I'm sure we'll leave the floor open for some questions. We'll be here to answer questions as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. John Onuminya. It is an awesome speech, I must say. At some point, I started reflecting, trying to see how many times we either don't appreciate the full value of personal touch, and then at the end of it, some of us pay for that, or for those of us that fall on the positive side of things, we apply the personal touch and then we see it working. Before I throw the floor open to questions, permit me, there's just one story I just want to share that I think would help everyone appreciate the value of personal touch. So I have a friend who works in an international organization, and in one of the occasions, he was sent to Ivory Coast to help his company recover some funds that the other person's company was owing his company. And then when he got there, the person in question, was sitting down with all looking angry eyes, wondering, okay, this person that is coming, why are you coming to see me? And then this guy now heard, that's my friend now heard, that 3 other people have been sent to this same man and none of them was successful. The guy just keeps saying, well, we have to wait for the due process. This is the way it is done. The executive director has to sign this after 3 months and all. Then later on, this guy decided to find out more about this person in question, and then found out that this person in question, 1, he loves football. 2, he enjoys talking about his family. And 3, he loves talking about the French culture. Now, this, my friend, is an English-speaking person, has no idea of who was sold or who was bought in the football world. And, well, let's say he's a single person, so he doesn't have much to talk about, like raising children and all. But because of this, I'm not advocating being phony or not being genuine, but he had to go to the extent of learning understanding what was happening in the world of football, trying to understand this man and find out questions about his family. And after engaging the other person in question, in less than 10 minutes of conversation, the guy said, "Okay, so young man, why did you say you wanted to see me again?" And to cut the long story short, my friend achieved that deal before coming back in less than 2 days, whereas it was not possible until he established that personal touch. So from his story and from so many other people's experiences that I've heard, I've come to understand that yes, there's a way there are certain ways things are being done, but when you get to know people personally, people will go out of their way they'll pull all their levers, everything in action just to help you get your task done. So thank you very much once again, Mr. John. I believe from all the stories you've shared and the points you've raised, everyone listening have learned so much. So I now throw the floor open. Please, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. The more we ask these questions, the more the message that was shared will stick. So the floor is open now for questions.
Okay,
Okay.
hello everybody.
Hello.
Okay, I don't so much have a question, but maybe like a contribution.
Okay.
So a lot of things that were said during the presentation really resonated with me. I'm somebody who really comes from the position of we have to do things a particular way. There's no need to be friendly or build relationships. And I worked in a company last year where the personal touch was the only way you could get things done. And I think particularly living in Nigeria, anywhere you go, you have to start off with giving that personal touch, trying to connect with people. So it's very, very important, especially at work for young people who nobody feels the obligation to teach you. You're the one that needs to learn. You have to actually make a serious effort to try and connect with your superiors and get to know them so they can open up to you. So that's very important at work. And I think also for the intern in the example, that I think maybe he could also have, tried to put that personal touch because you made the effort to make him come out of the shell, to get to know him. But I think also as a young person, if you're starting in an organization, you should try to connect with your superiors to create an impact. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Keno, for the contribution. John, while I was listening to Keno speaking, a question came to mind. So there's this, it's almost like a paradox where you tend to find people who have achieved so much in leadership and in life. A number of them find it difficult to have the time to mentor younger people, whereas some people have the belief that if they spend the time sharing what they have learned over the years with the younger people, they don't have enough time to plan to keep rising. So first of all, so what is your take on this, leadership and finding the time to be a high performing leader and still mentoring? And how do you still keep that personal touch when you have lots of pressure, deadlines, and those kind of things to meet?
Thank you so much for that question. That's a fantastic question. I think we need to focus first on priorities. Honestly, we cannot achieve everything at the same time. It is one of the principles you look at goal setting. You list out so many goals, but when you start taking the time to figure out which one is more important, you start eliminating so many others. You cannot achieve the pace many others are going to achieve if you're going to start building certain relationships with certain people. You have to understand that, look, this is a priority for me. I have to build them up. And another thing, if you're an extrovert, it might be harder for you. If you're an introvert, it might be easier because extroverts might want to relate with so many people. I believe leaders need a handful of people that they are close to, very, very close to. If you're the MD, for instance, maybe the DMD and certain directors, you should spend a lot of time mentoring them and building that close relationship. As it trickles down, then they keep spreading out. As the MD, I don't think you should be looking at all the heads of the department, depending on how big your organization is. At Toastmasters, for instance, let's use Toastmasters. The president should have a handful of people they're relating with deeply. They might be communicating with people on different levels. The vice presidents, like we have committees at Seaside, I should be really close to my committee members. I should be really close to my mentees as well. Other people might not reach a deeper level, but with time, I'm sure you will keep growing. You just can't achieve what you want to achieve now if you're an extrovert, meaning have a deep relationship with so many people. It doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. So that's the way I believe. Prioritize. Know who you need to work on having a very deep relationship with and work from there. Then you were able to achieve much more.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. John. Sorry, I'm very interested in that answer you gave. What if you come across someone who you're trying to establish a personal touch with this person, and this person is just being difficult? Sometimes, for whatever reason, you're trying to. Maybe the person has a.
I'm so sorry. I lost you for a bit. Do you mind repeating that?
Okay, so sometimes you come across certain people that have a reputation of being like not very friendly, and then that is the person you are trying to establish a personal touch with, and the person gives you the cold shoulder, the cold face, and all of that. How do you still maintain personal touch when the person is not even trying to be personable or friendly?
I love that question. Very beautiful question. The interesting thing, I think for most of us, certain people have seen us as not being friendly at some point in our lives. Maybe they saw us do something one day or heard us talk to somebody. So the first thing I'll say, try not to judge a book by a paragraph or a line in the book, right? You actually do need to invest that time to get to know the person. Secondly, if truly the person is a friend person, then that person probably needs more personal touch than anyone else. The saying, hurting people hurt other people, is very, very true. If someone is not friendly, then they either are not used to people being friendly with them. They've never experienced love. So they need that. You need to give them that time. Some people want to transform relationships after 1 month of communicating or after 1 week. There was something I did because I'm really not that good at relationships. I'm trying to work on it. So a number of years back, I decided, okay, I am going to get close to people. So I chose 5 people and I started communicating with them once a week for 1 year. I did not expect anything back in return. I just said once a week, consistently, I'll connect with these people. And I tell you, the result was amazing. After that 1 year, we were so close. Now, not everyone will reciprocate. That's fine. But you can only control what you have charge over. So that's your behavior. You do what you can, but be realistic about what you expect. Don't say, if I try this 2 months, it's going to come to my side. Keep doing it. I like to do it in years. Say 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. That's my idea of realistic. And then if you do that, let's say make a choice, but keep doing what you can do. I don't know if that helps you in any way.
Yeah, it does. It's just it sounds like just keep taking the hits until somehow the rock will budge. Okay, thank you. I think it sounds like this Chinese philosophy that a gentle tongue a gentle tongue can break the hardened rock. Yeah, it's something like as long as you are still being consistent, eventually you would get to the point where you've established a personal touch. So, okay, thank you very much, Mr. John. So once again, to everyone, those just joining in, we are having the online meeting for the Eagle Toastmasters Club. We have just listened to a presentation on personal touch and leadership and communication. And there's been so many insights that has been shared by our presenter, Mr. John. And right now we're at the place of asking and answering questions. So if you have any contributions on sharing or experiences you've had where you appreciate what you can appreciate what personal touch has done in leadership and communication, or you have questions on how to establish this personal touch in leadership and communication, please feel free. Our resource person was the president of Seaside Toastmaster and is the current vice president membership, and we are certain that he is competent to answer all our questions. So the floor is still open. I'll still keep it open for a minute before we move over to the next session. Feel free to send it to me via chats, or you could just unmute yourself and ask your questions. Do we have any further questions?
I think someone sent in a chat.
Okay. So, yeah, Mr. John, you can say the question and then proceed with the answering. Okay. Do we have a question?
Yeah, it's popped up for a bit, so I can't see the full thing right now.
Okay. Okay. Seun,
Hello,
do you have a okay.
Yeah, everyone.
Okay, go ahead, Seun. We can hear you, we can see you.
All right. This is my first time now that I think for me it's not question, leadership. I usually have this knack to want to connect with people who seem to be off, people who others see as snobbish. They try to keep away from. They see them as probably stubborn or full of themselves. It's those kind of people I'm interested in, and I want to know what makes them tick. And what works for me is to be genuinely interested in that person, not for any personal gain, like he said. Just be genuinely concerned about that person. Know what has made them to be upsided, so to speak. Find out why they are so distant, and you realize that these people are most times a bit broken inside, and they are scared to come out again. Someone had disappointed them. Probably someone had broken their trust, and then they just feel, let the world be and let me be. And you realize that these kind of persons have so much in them that once they're able to break out again of that shell, they make your leadership soar, they make your leadership exciting. They're able to help you achieve a lot. But it takes patience, genuine interest and care on your part, not trying to make a mark or anything. Genuinely interested in them, and you will see them gradually unravel. That's my contribution. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Seun, for that. That insight that goes a long way. Thank you very much. So, Mr. John, a question here from Adetola. It says, in a multifunctional organization where the pressure or stress level is intense, is it possible or rather realistic to develop this personal touch with everyone, at least with the people you work? Like, is it really possible when you have lots of pressure and it's intense stress?
Thank you so much. You said the question was from Adetola, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Adetola, fantastic question. I think a number of people actually work in such environments. There was a question I answered earlier. You honestly cannot have deep personal touch with everyone. But I love the second part of your question. You said at least maybe the people you work with. You said something like that. I think the people you work with, depending on how many they are, you can develop that, and that should be your priority. If you have a boss, I think it's very, very important that you build that personal touch with your boss. A colleague, someone that you're the boss of, a subordinate, that should be your inner circle at work. You need to start there. Be friendly with everyone, say hello, greet them, but you start with those closest to you, the most important in your organization. Depending on how big your organization is. For instance, my entire West Africa region, my entire company where I work right now, we're only 24. We handle all West Africa. So that's much smaller than so many companies. We really do know each other. Your company might be much bigger. focus on the key first. You have to prioritize, and then you can slowly expand from there.
Thank you very much, Mr. John. Thank you very much. So for those just joining us, we are the question answering session where we answer questions on the topic personal touch in leadership and communication. So if you have any burning questions on how to establish this personal touch in leadership and communication, please feel free to ask. Our resource person is ready to answer whatever questions you ask in this respect. Do we still have any questions? Okay. Okay, so
can I ask a question?
oh, okay. Who is speaking, please?
I have a question. Shane is speaking.
Oh, Sheon, please go ahead.
All right. In leadership,
this is
there are
Elijah
different
speaking.
cadres.
Hello,
There are different cadres.
Elijah, we'll take your question after Sheon's question. If you can just hold on a little, please.
All right. Am I on?
Yeah, Sheon,
Can I
please
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
please? All right. For like in an organization where you have a succession and you are occupying a leadership position, for example, probably a president of an association where there have been other presidents before you, like presidents 10 years ago, 15 years ago, who are still around. How do you establish a personal relationship with these people who seem not to be in your level or in your generation? Because you know you just need them to be able to succeed in that your office. It's something they've occupied before and you feel you can because of the age difference or something. How do you bridge that gap?
All right. May I go ahead?
Yes, please, sir.
Okay, Sean, fantastic question. Honestly, from your previous comments, I think you already have some of these things there. You're just not applying it to these people with the age gap. You love the challenge of meeting and getting closer to people that are difficult to get close to, correct? This is another challenge for you. Now, I'll say how it works for me. I'm sure you'll be able to create so many innovative ways to do it where you're coming from. Now, in my company, many of the people were much older. In fact, most of them within the next 5 years, next 5, 6 years are going to retire. That's how much older they are. What I had to do was come with our cultural background, knowing where they are coming from, and the usual good morning, of course, the usual smiling, but study them, know what works for them. But just the standard respectful nature. I don't know the older people that are in your company, but for us, since it's the Nigerian culture, they love when you're being respectful. I take on a lot of projects to help them with certain things. And the more I just come and ask questions and be respectful and check up on them, slowly they have opened up. Your situation might be different, but figure out a way to start slowly with them. I've noticed some older people too, just like when you come and ask for advice, just ask for advice. That works with certain people in my company. You say, how do you do this? Can you help me with this? If it's someone that wants you to say, can you help me? And they keep going on, you know, yes, this person loves giving advice. Seek advice from that person. The more you come to them, say, oh, okay, this person is willing to learn. And they also want to bond. Many old people in my company will tell stories, at least 2 hours. 2 hours at least, because he loves to tell stories. So that type of person is someone that loves to give advice. Go seek advice, but when you have more time, study them, start slowly, being polite, greeting them, and you slowly go from there. From your comments, as I said earlier, I know you already have some things on your fingertips. You just need to be bold enough and start applying it to these other people.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Another question just came in. I think everyone is finding this interesting. It shows that there is a demand for personal touch in leadership and communication. So the question is coming from Sheyi. He says, how do you approach approach the challenges of assuming a leadership role with a team and large organization? So you are made a new leader of a team, or you are in a large organization. How do you approach the challenges that is associated with assuming that leadership role, like establishing personal touch? Yeah.
Fantastic question. We're saying personal touch, so we need to remember that all situations are unique, but certain things you need to know. First, the person that was there before you came in, did people love that person? Were they there for a very long time? Did they hate the person? Do they hate the position? Do people like you already? Are people not favorable to you? There are many things to consider. Now, if it's a very tough situation, I think first you have to work on just building relationship before making major changes. Plan, discuss with people, think of what you're going to do, but the emphasis on relationship is so key before making major changes. Human beings, we don't like changes. And when you come in and all of a sudden you're changing things, people feel, who do you think you are? We've always done it this way. But when you take the time to till the soil, as it were, you'll be ready to take the seed and then produce crop and fruits. You must invest in the relationship. Now, if it's a situation where your people in the company already love you, they are close to you, and they are vying for you to take that position, you're already made, really. Continue building relationships with them. Go where you're going and continue to help the company grow. But if it's tough, the suggestions we've given, the points that have been shared, you have to put those into practice and focus on getting the personal touch before putting changes. People really need to know that you care first before you start changing things or saying, okay, I can do this better. It's very, very important. I hope I've touched on what you're thinking about or your concerns in some way.
Okay. Shay, I hope Mr. John has been able to help with clarifying your questions. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for your contributions, for your questions. Thank you to our resource person, Mr. John Onuminya, for your time and for sharing these insights with us. We really appreciate every moment of it. So we now move over to... Okay, hello.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Elijah.
Hello. So
Hello.
I just arrived in Lagos now, and I'm in a moving vehicle. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I just arrived in Lagos. I'm in a moving vehicle. That's why I didn't grasp. But I want to know if the link could be available for download from our Facebook page, so I can download it later and go through it.
Oh, yes, it will be available for download.
Because previously, I get the link.
Okay.
So I don't want to miss this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Elijah, thank you very much. Your point is noted. We'll make the link available for people who want to go through the contents. Thank you for your question. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, for your time. Thank you very much for the questions and the answers. We'll now be moving over to round up the meeting, get some announcements, and then be done. I now hand over to Madam President to give us her remarks before we round up the meeting. Madam President.
Master Chukudum. Thank you very much. I thoroughly enjoyed this session. I think Toastmaster John did an amazing job. Thank you very much, Toastmaster John, for such an amazing job. Thank you. While I was listening to you, I was taking notes and I was thinking, and I really liked what you said about establishing a connection as one of the things that we learn at Toastmasters. When you're going through your projects, some of the things you learn, especially in Project 5, for instance, is how to establish a connection by your body language. So how do you move your hands? How do you connect with people through their eyes?
Yeah,
Hello,
hello.
can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We lost you
I
for a
lost my
bit.
connection for a little bit.
Okay.
Apologies. Yes. Yes. Okay. So everyone, yes, that connection is important because everyone wants to feel connected. Where I could, like what Sean said as her discovery, whether or not they create a tough front, everyone wants to feel somewhere deep inside. Everyone wants to feel a sense of belonging or a part of something. So even Adolf Hitler, I think so. Even no matter how hard people are, yes, because he had his own story, and things could have turned out differently if he felt a sense of belonging, you know. So I work in marketing, in marketing and communications, and B2B marketing or B2B businesses show you that relationships are very important. It's very difficult to get return business from someone you. Why should they care enough, to give you return business? What's the point? What's special about you? Why should they care? I remember a story by someone. I listened to someone on YouTube speaking about Michelle Obama, former First Lady of the United States of America. And one of the things they said was, when you meet Michelle Obama, you never feel like she's too busy for you. She is always present. In the 5 minutes that she talks to you, you feel that she is present. You feel that she is there. She focuses on you. And I think that's one thing you can take from this personal touch business. You don't have to establish a deep connection with everyone, like our facilitator said. But in the 5 minutes you spend with someone, do they feel something? How do they feel when they leave you? You're not trying to be their best friend, but when they leave you, how do they feel? Do they feel, are you memorable? Do they remember something that you said? Do you pay attention? Do you listen to what they have to say? So by the time they see you next time, they feel like they know you because you established a connection with them. People are too busy. A lot of people look at their phones when they are talking to people. I think just establishing good eye contact, smiling, asking follow-up questions, things that are things that are important. I feel that way. And I think we shouldn't force things. I think that people can tell if you are genuine or not. So if you want something out of a relationship and you just keep coming and it's always about that thing that you want, people can tell. So if you're not going to be genuine, then don't bother. Just leave it. But if you're going to be genuine, then be genuine. No matter the industry you're in, communication is key. It fosters new relationships. It maintains existing relationships. Even at Toastmasters, when you're connected to a mentor or an evaluator for a speech project, they ask you to meet before or outside of the normal meeting to have a discussion so that the mentor or evaluator can get to know you and can tailor make their evaluation to suit your needs, because we are all different and our needs are different even though the projects are the same. So what, call it whatever, it helps to public relations, social media, whatever, call it, they're all just labels on the same reality that we are all in the business of people. We're all trying to connect to someone, which means that we are in a relationship business. And if we are in a relationship business, then personal communication cannot be overemphasized. Personal communication cannot be overemphasized. Those are my 2 cents on today's meeting. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I enjoyed listening to everything everyone said, and I hope that if you are not a regular visitor at Toastmasters, you can come, stop by, visit, get involved in a networking session. It's free to attend. Just meet people and learn how to establish relationships, how to establish connections. Just by observing, you will learn a thing or two. All right, that's my own feedback, and I would like to now officially close the meeting by giving a few announcements to say that next week Saturday, of course, today we were not at a hotel because in Lagos, in the city of Lagos, we have the Lagos City Marathon today. Normally we would have our meetings every first and second Saturday. So today this month we decided to swap and have our online meeting this week. So next week Saturday we'll be at a hotel from 10 o'clock in the morning. Please join us. It will be our open day. I'm so excited about this because I have been thinking about how to make it, my team and I have been thinking about how to make it a wow experience for anyone who comes. You might wonder what an open day is. There's something in it for everyone. If you are not a Toastmaster and you're curious about Toastmasters, please come. Someone will explain to you what Toastmasters really is, what we really do, so that you can find yourself in the picture. What is in it for me? Where am I in this picture? Do I really belong here? Is this what I am looking for? I think you'll be able to answer those questions when you come. If you're already a Toastmaster and you don't feel like you know a lot of things about this program, please come. You also get informed about other things that we do, opportunities that are coming up that you can take advantage of, especially the new educational program that Toastmasters has introduced, which we need to transition to within 2 years from March, which is next month. So if you're a Toastmaster, please come. It's called Pathways. So we have a Pathways ambassador and a Pathways guide who will be visiting us and explaining what it really is and how we can easily and smoothly transition to the new program. I would like to thank everyone who attended this meeting. Every time we put a meeting together, there are no guarantees anyone will come, but we're very excited when you come, and we appreciate you for staying. We hope that you had a great time, and we hope that when we return in March, on the third Saturday in March, you return and you will stay with us. So I think that's been it from me. I would like to thank you again for the opportunity and hand over to.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam President. Thank you for your kind words. So we now want to get to meet with our guests, those who are joining us. Please tell us your name, tell us what your experience with this meeting, how you felt, and we would like to get to know you. So I would be starting with, pardon me, I do not know exactly those who are guests and those who are members. So please feel free to unmute yourself and let us meet with you. So for order, I'll be starting with Abimbola Jayola.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Very clearly.
Okay. I'm not a member.
Okay.
I went on Facebook about 10 minutes ago, and I saw the link, and I decided to join.
Awesome. You're welcome.
I don't know what you guys have been talking about, but I find the last bit very interesting. Okay. And I know you people will be meeting on Saturday at a hotel, so I would see if I'll be available for the meeting.
Okay.
And that's all I have to say.
We look forward to seeing you, Abimbola, and we're glad you joined us. So we've basically been talking about personal touch in leadership and communication. We had a lot of wonderful insights, and it was an exciting session. But thank you still for joining in. We believe that we'll continue the relationship, with the club, and you'll learn even much more. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so Abiola Bakare, the floor is yours.
Okay, yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Sorry, my name is Abiola Bakare. I'm an intending member. It was nice being part of this meeting. I think the learnings are quite very good. Personal touch in all spheres of our life, everything we do is quite very important. So thanks for everyone for your contributions.
Okay, you're welcome, Mr. Abiola. Okay, we'll be having Adetola, your guests. The floor is yours.
Hi. Hi everyone.
Yeah, hi, Adetola.
I'm Aditola. I had a great. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had a great time today.
Okay.
It was the first time I did my Toastmasters. That was last Saturday. I had a
Okay.
great time, and then I decided to join today's meeting. I had a great time as well. So discussing about building personal touch with people you work with, especially I believe it's key. So I've learned several things, and I need to apply them at work. So next Saturday, I'll definitely be at the hotels.
We are definitely expecting you. Thank you for joining in. Welcome. Okay. We move over to Akinolu Oyegun. The floor is yours.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Yes, can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can.
He's not a guest.
I'm not
Oh,
a
okay.
guest.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's not a guest.
I'm sorry.
It's just like my pleasure to be here. I was actually late, so late, but then
Okay.
it's my pleasure really. But I'm not a guest.
Okay,
Thank you
okay.
very much
Thank
for
you.
that.
We really appreciate your joining us. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. The next name I have here is Chester Price.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Actually, my name is not Chester Price. I'm trying to figure out this Zoom. This Zoom.
Okay.
My name is Chidi Ojuku.
Okay.
John is a good friend of mine.
Okay.
All right. So I'm interested in joining your club. I'm so sorry you can't see me now, but hopefully in the next meeting you should be able to see me on video. By the way, I'm based in Abuja. I don't know. I heard someone um, saying the next meeting will be in Eco Hotels in Lagos, right?
Yeah, the next offline meeting.
Offline meeting. Oh, I see. But so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to join you for that because I'm based right here in Abuja. So
Yeah,
perhaps
okay.
online meeting.
Oh, yeah. So our next online meeting will be in the third Saturday of March. So we'll really be looking forward to having you. Thank you, Chidi.
Okay. I'll put that on my reminder right away.
Okay.
Same
Thank you very
same
much.
time.
Yes, same time, 6 to 7 p.m.
Okay, third Saturday of March.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Elijah Felix.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you.
please go ahead. Introduce yourself. Mr. Elijah, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Okay, yeah, I'm still on my way home. I just arrived from Benin. And
Okay.
I really appreciate today's meeting, even though I didn't get there because of traffic and some other things, but I will download it from the link and follow soon. And anytime I'm about to be, because I'm currently serving now, I'm in my NYC, and anytime I come back, I will join Toastmasters. I will even follow up the Toastmasters in Benin. I will join them. I know there's the Toastmasters club that will shoot Saturday, so I'll try to join them next time I'm in Benin.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Elijah. Thank you, Elijah. Okay, so the next name I have here is Lola. Hello, Lola. Are you there?
Lala is not a guest.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm not a guest.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, thank you, Lola, for joining us. Okay, so the next name I have here is Raphael Okenyi.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Raphael.
Yeah, my name is Raphael the King, and really find today's discussion very interesting and
Okay.
impactful. I think a good job was done in the delivery. Yeah, that's my
Thank you.
contribution.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Raphael. Did you have a good time?
Yes, I did. At
Okay.
least,
Is he a Toastmaster?
sorry.
Are you a Toastmaster? Or are you a guest?
Still a guest. Did the registration and the payments, but I'm yet to hear from you guys.
You will very soon.
All right, sounds fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Raphael. Okay, and then finally, I have Shay. I don't know, are you a guest or not?
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, Shay.
Yes, I am a guest.
Okay.
But I'm not new to Toastmasters. I've been at the meeting several times.
Okay.
I just have not mustered the courage to join.
Okay.
It was a nice session. I miss the meetings most of the time. I really wished I could. I really want to join. Actually, I probably will join someday. But I'm trying to push my wife to join, and that's the reason why I joined the online meeting. It's been interesting. Hopefully, she'll see the reason why it's good to join Toastmasters. Maybe I'll join, and maybe that will make her join. But it was nice to meet all of you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Shay.
Is she there as well? Can we say hello to her as well?
She just stepped out, so.
Okay. I hope she will not miss the next one. In March, of course, it's International Women's Day, and there'll be a controversial session we'll be having about all these women in leadership shenanigans. What is this really about? What is the big deal? I hope she will join. It will be an interesting one.
No, not a problem. Trust me, I'll try and make that happen.
Awesome.
Okay. Thank you very much, Shay. Thank you very much to all our guests. We are very excited to have you, the Eagle Toastmasters Club, for joining us in our online meeting. And once again, we trust that this was a wonderful use of your 1 hour. We trust that all of us, we've learned so much. And thank you very much for giving us the privilege of your presence. So this marks the end of today's meeting. We look forward to our next online meeting, which is on the 3rd Saturday of next month, and for offline meeting, which is next week, Saturday. Thank you once again, and I wish us a wonderful weekend and a great week ahead. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, bye.
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 Bye. Bye.